Many years ago, I figured out that I was histamine intolerant. It was a long, ridiculous journey for me to get to the point where I figured it out. But I figured it out, and honestly, now knowing what I know now, I'm not histamine intolerant, but I can see how I was led to think that. So after this crazy journey of me experimenting kind of with certain things, I figured out that if I eat histamines, certain high histamine foods, I react. I get eczema, I get sleep issues, I get all this stuff. And it, it made sense that from then on, I would avoid histamines. So if you don't know, histamine is in basically everything, but my main issue was meat. So if you cook meat in certain ways, it increases the histamines, like if you fry it. Some meats, like red meat, are higher in histamines than other meat, but for me, all meat was just smashing me. So I started avoiding meat or cooking it in certain ways, minimizing it, just playing with it for years. I went a whole foods plant-based vegan for about a year. I mean, which is a naturally very low protein diet. So my whole focus was just avoiding histamine, which is a protein. And the result of that was that I didn't get anywhere. I just I mean, it was the vegan portion of it, by the end, I was just way worse than I'd ever been. Everything was just screwing up, and I mean that leads me to the issue here, which was the labeling problem. So I found these labels, and it seemed to fit. The label then made me think I was smarter, or the information I was getting was smarter than the intelligence of the body. Um, I mean, the the way food and nutrition interacts with the body is infinitely complex. There's no way science and the thinking mind can ever understand it fully. It's just too complex, and it's not necessary. Um, what's necessary is that we have the guts to actually experiment to figure it out. It's really the only way for us to do this. And because I'd labeled something as histamine intolerance, that means I had to avoid histamines, which is the natural, um, the natural conclusion. So I started avoiding them and caused so many problems. But it made sense because I ate histamines. I flared up. I avoided histamines. Things seemed slightly better, but never completely better. So recently, I figured out that it was an accident. I was really hungry this one day, and I wasn't able to cook any starches or any food. So I just went to the grocery store and got a whole roast chicken and some fruit. Ate both of those, and normally I was just willing to deal with the flare up. Normally I'd flare up like crazy, but I didn't. And this was shocking to me. I remember just waking up at night waiting for myself to react, but it never happened. Tested it again, and same thing. So for me, what it ended up being was starch. So if I eat grains, or if I eat potatoes, sweet potato, white potato, bananas, anything with starch, I flare up. If I eat the starch on its own, I flare up a little bit. For some reason, if I combine it with meat, I flare up like crazy, especially certain meats. I don't know why this is the way it is. Maybe I'll never know. Who knows? But histamines may be the issue in some way, but it ended up being starch for some reason affects the histamine or whatever and causes me to flare up. Because if I just eat meat and fruit, I'm fine. No flare ups. My skin, it's only been a couple of days on this, and my skin is healing better than it's been in so long. I feel great. It's like my body's not booting out histamines anymore, and my brain is kind of just working better. I'm focused. I'm happier, more peaceful. Everything. And this nightmare of 10, 20 years of having these issues, in the last probably 10 years of me trying to fix them, because of this label, histamine intolerance, and me obsessively trying to avoid or manipulate histamines, I just simply didn't get the answer. The answers don't come from information because it's too complex. It comes from having the balls to experiment. So, I mean, I eventually grew the balls to fast properly, fast every day, fast 48 hours, 72 hours, dry fast, always fasting. And most I eat OMAD. And then I had the balls to play with the macros. Just eat meat, just eat this, take this out, just go for it. And it's the only way that we're ever going to heal is by having the balls to play with this stuff. So forget the labels, experiment, and you'll find your answers.